Hey everybody, it's Gleekon here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. We officially began the Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness game on the last episode. Watch the intro movie. And you could make the argument that you could start the second game also, but I like this little part right here to be a prelude to that. So stay a while and listen to this one called The Alliance of Lordaeron. Far north of the wetlands, the Council of Seven Nations continued debating the merits of unity. During these meetings, gnome and dwarf refugees arrived with dire news. The orcs had conquered Cosmodan. This turn of events shocked the human leaders. The dwarves and the gnomes were mighty, and the speed with which their territories had fallen defied understanding. What was worse, the horde was now encroaching north. Even with this troubling development, King Greymane of Gilneas and King Perinold of Alterac stubbornly resisted calls for creating the alliance. They feared that by unifying they would lose some of their regional power. Divisions widened between the gathered leaders. Their arguments grew so fierce that Gilneas and Alterac threatened to abandon the council. One person in attendance could not stand by as the humans squabbled over meaningless issues. His name was Turalyon, and he was one of Lordaeron's most venerated priests. Didn't realize he was a priest. He's not mentioned in our manual that we just read. And he is the current leader of the Horde, of the Alliance. Turalyon brought Stormwind's Prince Varian to his side. The priest called on the leaders to forget their old differences. If they underestimated the orcs, every kingdom would suffer Stormwind's fate. Their cities would burn and their children would become orphans, much like Varian, if their children survived at all. The orcs were not a merciful people. Turalyon argued that the kingdom stood at a crossroads. If they failed to unite, history would know humanity as a people who were too proud to band together, a people who'd had a chance to save Azeroth, but instead had thrown it all away over politics and illusions of power. Yet, if humans did unite into the Alliance, they could change history. They could arise as Azeroth's guardians. After all, no other race in the known world had humanity's resources, its strength of leadership, or its bravery. The Council of Seven Nations erupted in applause after Turalyon's speech. His words even swayed Greymane and Perinold. That very day, the human leaders voted unanimously to form the Alliance of Lordaeron. Debates followed about who could best lead the Alliance military, and the rulers decided on Anduin Lothar. Because he was from Stormwind, he had no political ties to the northern human nations. He could command the armies fairly and act as a neutral party in disputes. Lothar accepted this title with great humility. As supreme commander of the Alliance army, he wielded more power and influence than any human had since the days of the ancient king Thoradin. Lothar immediately rallied, which we learned was his ancestor. Lothar immediately rallied the Alliance forces and ordered them to gather in Hillsbred foothills, a region north of the wetlands. And we'll make the argument that, hey, he's also saying, why don't you guys go down to South Shore as well and just start kind of building up little bases, which is what we'll do on the first level on the next episode. All right, this episode's in the pipes, 5x5. I thank you so much for listening. I'll see you on that next episode of Lore of Warcraft.